Hey crafty friends, this is Maria over at She's a Creative Girl. Today I want to make an easy flat card that I can put in the mail that's not going to cost me $5 or $6 to mail. So I found this image on Mo Manning, their website for digitals, and I saw my inspiration card on Pinterest, of course. And this is a clean, simple card that I can easily get done. Um, the sample that I saw on Pinterest has some washi tape. I didn't have any, so when I printed these little girls out on my computer, I went ahead and made my own washi tape. Yep, I sure did. Made my own washi tape, and I'll be putting that on my card. So I'm going to show you how to color these real quick. You can do this with any digital that you may have in your stash. You can use stamps. I don't buy a whole lot of stamps because I don't have room to store them. So I have thousands of digital stamps that I've gotten from so many different vendors. But like I said, this image is from Mo Manning. This particular sentiment is from Polka Doodles. And this sentiment came with this image on the Mo Manning website. All right, so let me show you what I use. Okay, for her skin, we will be using E000, E21, E11, and E04. And then we're going to be using R22, R20, R00, and R000 for the cheeks. Maybe not all that, but we'll see. Because I like my colors to pop, as you can see. I don't like to make things too light and too soft that they kind of melt with the paper. So, all right. So the little red in her dress, we're going to use R29, R27, R17, and maybe R22 or something lighter. And then for her hair, we're going to use browns. I want to make her a brunette. It's going to be E49, E29, E25, and I'm also going to use the E21 that we have for her skin for the highlights. Okay, and for those of you who are newbies, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to try to explain what I'm doing while I'm doing it, so maybe you can understand the concept behind creating shadows and things like that. So I'm going to go get my glasses and we'll get started. Okay, I'm going to zoom in as close as I can get because we're going to start off with her face. I think that's about as close as I can get it. Let me scoot this down some. And I will try my best to stay in frame, and I'll keep checking on that. Okay, so for the skin, I like to wet the area first. So I'm going to take my E000, and I'm just going to wet her entire face with that. And this is going to be just a flicking stroke. Don't forget her ears. Now my next color is going to be the E04. We're going to create some shadows with the E04. So I'm going to go do like a really fine line around her hairline. And then around her face. A little bit in the middle of her ear. And come here around her face. The rest of her earline. Right there. Okay, and then I'm going to create just a teeny weeny little thin teeny weeny line for the bump of her nose right there. All right, then I'm going to come in with my next color, which is going to be E11. And I'm just going to go right over what I just did. Maybe bring it down a little bit further. I like my colors to pop, so I may even do a second layer depending on what she looks like after it's all done. I'm going to go ahead and do her ears with this color because her ears are hidden behind her hair, and those areas usually create shadows, and you're supposed to put darker colors in the shadows. All right, this is E21. I'm going to come a little bit more around her face, just kind of soften all that up. I'm going to come just a little bit under her nose this time. And I'm going to come back with the E000 and blend all that out. And then I'm going to come back and do cheeks. Girls, be quiet. I'm just going to soften all this up. Okay, now I'm going to do her cheeks real quick. I'm going to start off with R22 because I did this one with R20 and I didn't like the way it came out. It was too light, and I ended up doing a second coat on her. So I'm going to do R22 in the middle, in the deepest part of the apples of her cheeks. And then I'm going to come back with R20 around the edges of that. And I'm just dabbing. Then I'm going to do R00, soften that up. So let me tell you the paper that I'm using. I was going to do these on Express It, which is for markers, but I didn't have enough to like do the whole background. I don't want to waste the paper. So I actually printed this on some Coordination Smooth cardstock, and this is working out really well, actually. I'm not minding too much because I didn't want to like make a big giant mat like this with the Express It paper and then use it on a card. So I ended up, as a backup, I printed these on Express It to use later, or maybe make some more cards and just fussy cutter and maybe razor up on the card. But okay, so that is that. I like the color. I like the way it looks. I'm going to come back now with my E000. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend out the whole thing. I'm just going to... I like that. Let me soften up that little nose area right there, little nose bump. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to the next section of her skin, which is going to be her neck. I don't like to just do all of it at once because it's kind of, to me, it's a little bit like watercolor. The areas are so small, sometimes they kind of run together, and I don't want that to happen. So right here, I'm putting the E04. I forgot to wet it, but I think it should be okay because this is a tiny area. I'm putting E04 in the shadows of her neck and the top of her dress. Then I'm going to come in with E11 and go out a little further. Yeah, I was a lady, I don't even know what country she was in, but she made this card. It was so cute. I'm like, I need to make that because it's quick, simple. And, you know, June, July, and August is when I have to do most of my birthday cards. It's like everybody's birthday in my family are going to be in June, July, and August. So I have to make a ton of cards. So last year I made a ton of cards. And I had a friend... My friend Sylvia, hello Sylvia, if you're listening. She bought all my cards that I made for my nieces. And then I had to make them all over again. But she wanted to buy them. I said, okay, I do sell my cards. But she has her own channel. You should go check her out. I believe the name of her channel is Scrapping Sylvia. And I'll make sure to look that up just to be sure that's the one that she has been using. But she does, she started off scrapbooking. And then she started doing diamond art. So now she's just doing mostly diamond art. But it is just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. And I just love listening to her. I mean, her voice is so soothing. Oops, it's supposed to be E04. Let me get E04. So yeah, when I was watching her, I was like, wow, I didn't know the diamond art was all that. It's like they've got so much stuff now that I kind of want to get into it. But my thing is, I don't have any room to put any of it. But if you're into the diamond art thing, definitely go check her out. She's awesome. Okay, that was E04. I'm coming in now with E21. E21 or E11? Nope, do E11 first. Yeah, E11 first and then E21. And this one is E22. 21. I don't want to get this too dark. Make it look like she's got a tan. And then E000 to blend it all out. I'm going to push that color back with this marker and push it back to the line. There we go. Then we've got that little section of skin over there, so I'm going to hit and wet it with the E000. It's a very tiny area, so make sure you make very tiny marks with your markers. So, oops, picked up the wrong one. I need E04. Just going to go underneath the shadow of the little cap of her sleeve there. And maybe a little bit underneath this pleat right here. And we've got E11. So you guys, you see me capping and uncapping. And the reason I do that if you're a newbie is because sometimes the markers are so juicy. And in order to stop the markers from making a globby mess, I always uncap both of them. I just made it a habit of doing that since I've been coloring, because I spent one time hours coloring something, and then I picked up a juicy marker and a blob of ink just fell right on top of it. I think I've been traumatized ever since. So I always cap and uncap, and yes, I get a lot of ink on my fingers as a result, but this has become a habit that now I do it with every marker, even my zig markers. But you know, I don't want to just leave them open like some people do. I have some markers that have already dried out. I'm not happy about that though. Okay, I'm going to go move over to her legs. So same concept, E000 to wet them. I think I'm going to do both legs this time at the same time. And then E04 for the shadows. I'm going to go underneath her little ruffles, very tiny. Pesky phone calls. Okay, here we are. Again, E04. Just doing little dabs. All right, I'm going to get under her knees here. Little shadow under her knees. And then on top of her socks. I'm going to do just a little bit of shadow kind of here in her knee, because she's got her knees a little bowed in a little bit. And most of the time I do the shadow inside her legs. And looks like I got some spots outside the line. Oh my gosh, I gotta find that E0 blender. All right, so I'm not gonna overdo it because I don't want to mess this up, but all I did was just a little teeny weeny mark. I'm just gonna push it back in just by dabbing just a little bit. You don't have to saturate if you happen to do that to yours. A lot of newbies tend to saturate and then they ruin the whole thing. Okay, so E04, E11 is next. I'm going to, let's see, I want to do a little dot where those little dimples are right there. Dimple, dimple. And then E21. And then I'm going to blend it all out, E000. And what I'm doing is pushing that ink right towards the line. And blend it all out, make it all smooth. And here's the thing, y'all, that I want to explain. I've seen a lot of my friends keep trying to smooth out these lines by putting way too much color and saturating the area they're trying to blend. wait a minute. Wait a minute, let the paint dry, and then see if you need to do that. Because a lot of times, these Copics, they just kind of do their thing after they're dry. And then you come back and try it again if you need to. That way you don't get your paper overly saturated. Like, I'm not even using good paper here. I wanted to use the Express, but I don't have enough of it, and I don't have time to go buy any. And I found this paper in my stash. It's just a smooth cardstock, and it's working out just fine. Okay, so I'm looking at her face. I think I might want to, oh, did I just miss the, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Did I not show you the legs? I hope I did. Anyway, same concept, E04, E11, E21, then E000. I'm going to move over to her, let's do something easy. Let's do her dress first, okay, since I have it right here. I'm going to be using 3 colors for her dress, and I'm not even going to color the whole thing. I just want to create shadows in the folds because I want her dress to look like it's white. I need to clean it up first because I see some of the skin color has blended out into the white area. Okay, so I'm going to create folds with the darkest color. I'm going to just put the shadows where the folds are in the dress. So I'm going to show them to you as I go.
Shadows,
so
I'm using C3,
right here,
C1,
this fabric
and
is
C0.
behind this piece right here. So I'm going to create a line here on top of that line. And then this is a fold back here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a shadow for that fold. And then this fold here, I'm going to go ahead and create a shadow for that fold. I'm just hugging the line. And then this piece right here is behind this piece there. So I'm going to create a shadow there. We've got a shadow here in her little cap of her sleeve. Then we've got shadows here because this is like the bodies. And then you've got the skirt that comes at the bottom. And then a little bit here. And then another shadow here. All right, let's look at the bottom of her dress and see what's going on down there. Okay, we've got this little dip right here, which indicates there's a fold there. So I'm just going to make a little line real thin coming up where those dips are, the dips. So we have this dip here. We have another one here. Just do a flick, a quick flick. And then we've got a little bit right here with creating a shadow underneath her arm right there. Okay, so now I'm going to come back with C1. And I'm going to flick on the side of that last line that I just did, in the middle of that line and on the other side. And we're making like a little TP, a little triangle kind of thing. And I'm just doing a light flick. And as I keep doing that, I always extend it out just a little further. Come over here and do the same thing. Come out a little bit. Just a little bit up here, because this area is tiny. Here. And then just follow this one. And then we have this area here. This flick. And here. I'm done. Very simple. You see how now it's not just one dimension. And then we're going to come back with C0 and just kind of blend all that in. Push it out a little further. That's it. All right, so now I want to do the little skirt, and I'm probably going to just do 2 colors, the C1 and the C00, the C0. C0, because these are ruffles. I'm just going to put the dark kind of where the roughly parts are, because I think I want to come back later and maybe put some stickles in there. And then I'm going to blend that out with this. I'm just going to dab. That way it looks like a shadow of maybe some organza or something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to come back and do the red. So for the red, I've got the R29, R27, R17. I might put a little bit of R22 if I need to in there. So I'm going to start with the darkest color, and I'm going to do like half of the little hearts, okay? So I'm going to do half of the little hearts, really teeny, weeny, itty bitty little teeny, weeny strokes, R29. And just do like a little itty bitty corner there of the heart. And here's another one here. Super cute. Okay, now I'm going to go to her little handkerchief that she's got on her collar. I'm just going to blend up the darkest part at the bottom. I guess I can do here in the middle too. And teeny weeny pit up here. And then here on the sides. And then on this side. And this little teeny weeny piece right there. And then I'm going to come back with R17. Nope, R27. And then blend that out. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do half the heart. And then I'm going to come back with R17 and just finish it off with that. Maybe I'll leave a little bit, a teeny bit of white there. I might come back with the like a R00, so I have a little bit of a highlight in the heart. How cute! Okay, I'm gonna do R00. Just kind of blend that out. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of this R00 here to see what that looks. Oh, that's cute. Yep. I think I'm gonna just dab the chunky parts of the little dress. Just dab it. Not have to be just like creating little texture. And then she's got these little things on her dress. I don't know what they are, but I think I'm gonna dab those in the little teeny weeny pink. Just to give it a little bit more of a color. Okay, so let's see. What color do I want to make her socks? And I don't know, I'm kind of debating on doing black shoes. That would be so, so cute. Let's see. We're going to do her hair first. And her lollipop. Let's see. Do I want to do her socks or her shoes? Let me do her socks. So her socks, I want them to be white. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same colors that we did for the skirt. So I've got C3. Put those in the shadows. Side, this side, and a little bit underneath those little straps. And then we can do this on the bottom of the sole of her foot, of her little feet, the shoes. All right, and now we're going to do C1. I'm just gonna touch it up a little bit. And C0 to blend it all out. Love. Okay, so now I think I'm going to do red shoes. Keep it simple. I don't want to keep digging markers out, right? I'm trying to keep it simple. Okay, we got the R29. I'm going to do the darkest color on the outside. Her shoe here. And then on her strap. R17, nope, R27. In my hands. And we have R17. I think I'm going to do just a little bit of R17 and come back with that 00 to kind of blend it all out. Alright, so we're going to use let me just use R20. I'm going to use R20 to blend it all out. It'll be soft. I may have to put a little bit more of that R17 because I don't like to see those lines there. Just a little dab. Yeah, it looks a little bit too muted to me, so I'm going to go ahead and do another layer. I'm going to do R27 though. I know I should have let it dry because what did I just say? Let the marker do its thing. Yeah, I'm going to have to let that dry a little bit because I can see that it's too wet. And I think I will do the R17 all the way across. I may just highlight it with a pencil and I'll show you how to do that when I'm done. Yeah, that's really cute. Okay, so now I want to do the red stripe inside her lollipop. So I'm going to start off with the R29 and just do kind of a little bit like a swirl. We're going to do the darkest areas and kind of skip and do another where the turns are. Let's see, I think that'll do it. Now I'm going to come back with R27. And R17. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, now we're going to tackle her hair. And let me go wash my hands because I'm afraid I'm going to touch the white and then I'm going to ruin the card and then we'll come back and do her hair. Oh, we're going to do the hair now. So let me just give you a quick tutorial about what we're doing with hair. So with hair, you kind of have to look at the style. So in this particular case, she's got this really curly hair. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting the darkest color kind of where the valleys are. Let me explain. So valley meaning, let me just draw like a swirl because she's got really wavy hair. So these little dips are the valleys. And these are mountains, okay, valley mountains. So what you want to do is you're going to put the darkest color in the valleys, okay? So like if I come in, I think this is, yeah, this is just pink cardstock. I'm going to come in the valleys and just put, here, let me get in a little closer. You're going to just kind of do this number. And this particular case, she's got a lot of ringlets. So even if you kind of did like this, do little strokes like that. And then come in with the second color and do the same thing and just extend it out a little further. And this time you're going this way. And when you get to the mountain's going to have the highlight. So that's going to be where your lightest area is going to be. So you're going to like that, pretty much. So you see how this is darker in here, and this is darker, and you have a little bit lighter there. So just look at it as mountains and valleys. And when you're doing hair, the best thing that I have found to do is to separate the sections of hair. So when I say separate the sections, let's take a look at this. So like I'm going to do half her hair. And for example, this piece of hair right here, it's kind of smooth. So I'm not going to do the mountain valley thing. I'm just going to do where the hair comes out from the scalp. It's going to be the darkest. Then you have your mid-tone. Then you have your highlight. And then here, this tuft of hair is the same. You're going to have your darker color, your shadow, mid-tone, highlight. Over here, you have curls. Do the valley mountain thing. So you have the darker color here. And then here, this piece of hair is on top of this hair here. So this section of hair will be dark. So you just have to kind of learn how to separate the hair and look at it a different way. When I first started, I had a really difficult time trying to determine where their hair is and what different strokes are. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to tackle the rest of the hair. So I'm going to do it as slow as I can, because I know a lot of people have difficulty trying to determine where the hair, where to do the hair. So yeah, let's do E49 first. I'll try to do this as slow as possible. So this piece of hair here, I'm going to start with the darkest down in the middle. Then we've got this piece of hair here that's coming out of the scalp, kind of. Now this here is also coming out of the scalp, so I'm going this way. And this has got a curl on this side, so I'm going to come this way. I'm going to kind of do the whole valley thing here. Here's another piece right here that's dark. And then here is coming out of her scalp. And this is going to be under this hair. And then we have the darker here in the valley. This one's coming this way. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I can go a little further. I think if you see it in little sections, you'll maybe see what I'm talking about. So now I'm just extending the color out a little further. And then, you know, these colors are dark. I did want it to have really dark hair. I don't know. I'm dark haired, so I guess that's why. But I always come back with my pencils and either deepen whatever I need to deepen with a really dark brown, or lighten whatever I need to lighten with a white pencil. So I'll show you how to do some of that after we get her done. So you see how you have the 3 tones of hair there. It's not all one color. Okay, I'm going to come back and do this little section of hair right here. We've got, I'm sorry, E49 first. Come here this way, and this is a little shadow here. And it's probably going to be dark there. This hair is straight, so I'm going to go just do flicks this way. And then here we have the little shadow, another little, like a little dip there, here. And this kind of, it's like a curl with a wave. So I'm going to do the valley there at the ends of the wave. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but okay, then I'm going to come in with this color and do my mid-tone. I think I missed that section. Mid-tone. Really teeny weeny strokes, because this is really tiny. I'm going to go ahead and just fill that in because that space is so small. So I'm going to come back this way from my valley and leave a little space for the lightest color. Now I'm going to come in with E25. And I'm going to fill in the rest of it here. Just little strokes. Okay. All right, let's tackle this little section here with the darkest color. There's a little valley here. I'm just going to do a valley, just a valley. I'm going to come in with E29. A little valley. And E25. Now, when I first started doing this, it was really difficult. So I used to look at like pictures on Pinterest and just kind of look at hairstyles and kind of like try to decipher where the shadows were in their hair. And like I said, when I was doing it with pencil, I just kind of picked it up a little bit faster, and then I came back and tried to do it with the markers. But it took a while. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom. Okay, so we've got this piece of hair here that's behind this hair. So I'm going to start with little flicks going this way. And this piece is like a little ringlet. I'm going to go ahead and darken that up right there. And here, I know I said I was going to go slow, but here's more. So it comes out from underneath her ear here. So that's dark. And then ringlet, ringlet. I'm going to come in with E29 again. Here I'm going to flick down. And I guess you could have flicked horizontally as well. I'm just trying to leave room for the highlight. That way you don't have all the hair being one color. So everything that I do it like in threes. You got your shadow, your midpoint, and your highlight. Okay, let's do, this is kind of straight here. Let's do the straight hairs first. We got here, coming dark in the corners here. We got the little valley here. Okay, then we've got this piece of hair here that we can just do the tips like this and come in the middle part. And then here we've got a little shadow here and here. There's the E29. Really tiny strokes. There you go. Okay, I'm picking up the darkest color again. Nope, I did not. This is E49 first. Okay, so for the rest of these, I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I don't want this to take too long. So here we have a ringlet. Make the ringlet dark. And E29. And E25. Yep. Just touch match it all up in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. You might want to fast forward this one because I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to go ahead and color it. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to take my white personal color colored pencil. I'm just going to go ahead and put in the highlights in where they should be. And I'm not going to be real particular. I'm just going to, because this hair was so dark. Just little strokes to kind of separate the ringlets. Probably looks better with a white. I have the other one that I did. I'll probably do the other one with a white, what do you call that? A gel pen. The white gel pen comes out a little bit more bright and it's really stark. I really like that. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so for her shoes, I'm going to put a little bit more highlight here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the white and just going to blend it. And here as well. And that's it. Where I really wanted the light to be the brightest, I got it too dark. So I'm doing this with this white, just blending it out to make it look white now. There it is. It's cute. I like it. Okay, I can barely see my pencil stroke, so I may have to come back this and do the highlight with the pen later. But I'll show you the end result. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and decorate this baby. I got my own washi tape that I made. And I don't know, I may just have to do me like I always do, right? Go ahead and just cut it. I'll put those there, just add a little splash of color. Hope you can't see what I'm doing. There's that. Or you can put them over here this way. I think the photo that I looked at on Pinterest, that kind of motivated me to do this card because it was clean and simple. I think she had those there. They look cute there too. Okay, so let's see. I want to add a little bit of glitter, glimmery stuff to here and to her little dress. And then I want to put some little pearls on it. So let's get that done. I'm going to take the lightest pink that I have. This is called Cotton Candy. It's a Stickles. And I'm just going to dab little, oops, make sure I don't come out too much. And just in little areas. Just give it a little bit of pop. There we go. Get my little pearls. I decided I'm going to go ahead and do that little gel pen instead. Let me go ahead and, yeah, that looks better. Just put in little strokes, not being particular. Just trying to find the lightest pieces of hair. There you go. All right, y'all. So there is my finished card. I'm gonna just pop it onto probably a red base. I'm not for sure yet. I guess you will see the finished product after I get it done. And part of me just wants to do that shabby chic thing that I do, and I may just do that on the next one. I'm thinking about sewing around it, batting the edges. I may make one of those too, because I do have to make a lot. So I'm just gonna make them all a little bit different, but using the same little girls. Like I've got this one here. To do this one, all I did was kind of put the stamp kind of a little bit to the side and cut it off. But this coloring is the same. Yep. So I will do my thing, try to make them all look different, and I will post pictures of each one of them as soon as I get them all done. I'll make them part of this video. They'll be at the end. I hope you enjoyed the coloring. Happy crafting.
As always, if you like my video, please like, subscribe, and share. Happy crafting.